beauties, welcome back to my channel. Now I know you're thinking, Rebecca, why are you sitting in such a sassy red chair? And the answer is I want to do a new segment for you guys. I know that you really like the get to know me videos, and I thought because I've had such a weird and crazy little life, I would share a few of my key stories with you from time to time. So I may now be living in Canada and working as a YouTube host for Most Amazing Top 10, but that wasn't always the case. This story is coming to you from my university years when, to cut a long story short, I got a glove surgically glued to my head. Oh. So it was a cold night in January. It was my third and final year of university, and my friends and I decided to go and see a Frank Turner gig at New Slang in Kingston. For those of you that don't know where that is, it's just outside of London. Kingston's a bit of a hop and a schlep and a night bus away from the centre of London, but we thought it was going to be worth it. We love a bit of Frank. The whole gig went really well. We danced the night away. We even had one or two cheeky beers, and the time came to leave, so once again, we had to get to the dreaded night bus stop. We were filled with all kinds of chatter about the gig and how awesome it was, when all of a sudden, the glass shattered in the bus stop. In London, I don't know about where you're living, but bus stops are made purely of glass, so it's pretty dramatic. So dramatic, in fact, that one of my friends was propelled off the seat at the bus stop, landing on the floor in a pool of glass. Because hers was the most dramatic fall, we were all really worried about her. She stood up and she had cut her bum. The glass had gone through her tights and she was bleeding from the bum. I then, strangely, put my hand to my head and realised that my hand was covered in blood. That's right, I was bleeding from the head. It was very dramatic. At this point, we didn't know what was going on. Had a car run into the bus stop? Had someone hit it with a baseball bat? In these situations and in these moments, you don't really quite put two and two together knowing what's going on. Some eyewitnesses came over from the other side of the street and confirmed that a crazy person had just simply run full pelt into the bus stop and then run away. They called the ambulance and we sat there, and I've got to say, these were relatively attractive chaps. One of them offered me a tissue for my bleeding head, and the other tried to offer my friend a tissue for her bleeding bum. It was all a little bit awkward. But we were kind of thinking, you know, we're a bit shaken, but I don't think I'm dying. The ambulance came and we got in the back and we were quickly taken to hospital. My friend and I were treated in adjoining cubicles. Now these are the kind of cubicles that just have like a canvas screen in between the two, so I could kind of hear what was going on, and it sounded to me very much like my friend was having glass tweezered out of her bum, which she later told me was exactly what was happening. She was on all fours, the doctor was going in there just doing their work. Now me, on the other hand, with the less dramatic injury to my head, I had to have some surgical stitches. So this is basically where they glue your head back together. Sounds legit. The nurse was very kind, and as she was attending to my wound, she suddenly said, "Oh no," which is actually not what you want to hear when you're having your head glued back together. I dare not ask what, but I decided, oh, okay, just tell me. At least I've had a couple of beers, I can probably deal with whatever this is. Well, she turned to me and said, "I am so sorry, but I've accidentally surgically glued my rubber glove to your head." Like, what? Then it's like your whole life flashes before your eyes. Like, am I gonna have a rubber glove glued to my head for the rest of eternity? What will people at university say? Meanwhile, from across the cubicle, I hear my friend cackling with laughter. "Becca's got a glove glued to her head. Ah!" Boo. The nurse then wriggled her hand out of the glove, and sure enough, there it was, flaccid and very much surgically glued to my head. Now there were two options here. I either live my life with a glove glued to my head, or I have it cut out. I guess you can see by the fact that I don't have an adjoining twin right here that I had it cut out. The nurse then said, "Listen, you're gonna have bits of rubber gloves stuck to your hair for a while, but after a couple of months, yes, months, it should come out." And there I was, finishing my last few months of university with tiny little stumps of hair with little bits of rubber glove glued to it. But it could have been worse. I could have had to have lived with a glove on my head. So yeah, it was pretty embarrassing, but also quite funny. and a little bit traumatic all round. We didn't think we were going to hear anything about the incident after it happened because the guy who ran into the bus stop had run away. However, we did give statements to the police, and 3 months later, my friend and I both got a cheque in the post for £100 each. Basically, they managed to apprehend the guy who we think was on drugs, and he got taken to court and we were given compensation of £100. So we weren't badly injured. I have a funny story to take away with it, and that is just one episode in a day in the life of Rebecca Felgate, which can sometimes be tragic and lol-worthy. So there we have it. Did you enjoy this story time? Should I make more of them? Because believe me, I have a lot of embarrassing stories that I could share with you. And if you do want me to, then let me know in the comment section below. Also, if you want to make me feel a little bit better about that whole situation, why not let me know an embarrassing tale that has happened to you? I've been Rebecca Felgate. You guys can follow me on social media. I've just set up a new Facebook fan page where I'm going to be sharing even more stories, so you can go on over and like that. Also, I have got Twitter and Instagram. Also, if you like this video, be a major babe. Give me some moral support by giving me a thumbs up, because really, glove on the head. I don't know, it's a good story. Anyway, lots of love. No matter how bad your day is today, just remember, you don't have a glove surgically glued to what is essentially your upper face. Mwah.